What's going on YouTube? Day back again, and today, well, you know my addiction with new toys and new ways to upgrade everything. So I ended up picking this up to upgrade to set up as a face cam over here. So I really want to get into doing some live streams and then also some of my tutorials so that you guys can see my sexy face. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do unboxing and show you everything that comes in here. And then I ended up finding out that they actually have a beta trial of new software. And anyone that's used a Logitech webcam knows that their software pretty much sucks ass. So they came out with a new beta that I think has a lot of new features to clean up some of their issues. Now I have a C920 actually attached to the spray booth over here for whenever I do some spraying, I can actually record what I'm doing. But the problem with it has always been either the color balance has been off or the autofocus hunts or it won't stay locked, and the new software is supposed to fix that. So I'm super excited to get this and try it out. Now for my research, it's my understanding that the 4K is actually still really glitchy, but I think I'm going to do like 1080 at 60, and then doing it as a capture window like up here will come out just fine, especially since it's being downsized and everything. But without further ado, let's dig into this. Now this isn't the original tape. I put that on there because the lid wouldn't stay shut once I opened it just to inspect contents. But it just comes in a simple box. You would think with the money that they charge for these that, well, it'd come in better packaging. But hey, it is Logitech. So popping open the lid, you've got instructions up here on how to get the software. But like I said, I will actually put a link down below to the new software, which is in beta. It's my understanding, I haven't played with it yet because I haven't unpacked this, but it's my understanding it fixes a lot of issues that the Logitech webcams have had for years. Now, first thing that pulls out is going to be this. It has a protective window on here, so we will end up pulling that off. It has an IR sensor, I believe, and then a light sensor, and then the camera itself, and then it has dual microphones on here. Though if you have any kind of real setup, you're not going to be using this at all. I think if I remember correctly, the biggest issue with doing the 4K is the audio sync between recording on something like the microphone that I'm using right now in OBS and what the camera translates. It ends up being off by half a second or something, but that just, it kind of looks funky. So I'll end up playing around with that and see what we can do. So taking a look, one of the features that really makes this stand out is one, the body feels like it's aluminum, and then it has a USB-C port on the back. Now this does come with a cable, though I did end up getting another cable which is 15 feet in length. I didn't want to take a chance on it being too short, so I just ended up picking that up. I'll stick a link to it down below as well. It's from a company that I know and trust, and I get a bunch of cables from these guys, and they've always stood up the test of time. Next, you'll just pull this out. There's no software in here. Inside you have some paperwork. You have a cable. I haven't measured this to see how long it is. It might be long enough to use, but I already have the one cable run all the way to my computer, but it is USB-C to USB 3.0. It does come with a little bag for, I guess, sticking the camera in. I have plenty of these bags everywhere, so I won't be needing that. It does come with a security guard, so you can clamp this on the top here and close that down for security in case you're worried about the government spying on you or something. Whatever. The only thing the government's ever going to find on me is maybe watching cat porn. All right, so here's a short how-to setup guide. Plug the cable into the Brio, attach the Brio to the top of whatever your monitor is, and this does have an option of removing this to be able to put it onto a tripod. And then of course your little flip over. On here you have instructions in several languages, just your warning. They're not even instructions, they're just warnings. Yeah, whatever. So, and of course you get the cable, peel that off, peel off that. Now if you're wanting to use this and attach it to the top of your monitor, you do get good flexibility as far as that goes and that goes, and then you have this little foot here. So I mean, you could attach it onto the back of your monitor, a couple different things, but I want to attach it to setup that I have attached to my shelf. Now this base right here, it just snaps in, so just kind of take your finger right here and just kind of twist, and it's going to pop right out, and there is your port for being able to screw it to a tripod. What I'm going to be attaching it to is this clamp right here, which will attach to the shelf, and then I'm going to mount the camera just like this on here, and it'll actually be on the underside of my shelf. So underneath the shelf it's going to look like this, and if I want to pivot it from side to side I can, but right there is like that, and then it's going to clamp right onto the shelf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the software, get this all hooked up, give it a try, and then we'll come back and let you see what it looks like. I got everything all set up. I do have a couple of things that I am going to end up changing. I actually have a spring shock mount for the microphone right here, and I was going to launch out and get a like a broadcast podcast type microphone, but I decided against it, and everyone that I know says that they really like the way that this one ends up sounding, and I already have it, so I'm going to stick with it. Right now you're looking at me on the Logitech Brio, and let me tell you, I'm going to do a separate video because it needs to be done of how to set this up. They have some newer firmware, and they also have a new beta program, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to go through. I still haven't figured out how to switch between 720, 1080, 4K. I haven't found those settings yet, and it's kind of really annoying. But so far it seems to be working pretty good. I got the color kind of balanced out right. The nice thing is, compared to the old Logitech program, which they haven't updated since like 2013, is that if it crashes during the program, or if you close it, you restart your computer, anything like that, the old one, you still lose all its settings. I don't know why. You would think that would be locked in, but it did. Once you set a custom profile, which you will need to do because the settings right out of the box on the default look like crap. But I will do another video where I show you guys my screen and what I ended up doing, which hopefully will end up helping. I have this all set up through my Stream Deck right now, and I have a couple different profiles set up. So this one is for strictly my face cam. I'm going to switch over to what I hope to have as a stream basically set up, because I want to start getting into doing some live streaming here on YouTube with my builds and stuff. And so you can have a cam that can see my face. So let's switch to that right now. All right, so this is why it's going to end up looking like when you guys see me on YouTube when I end up streaming. I like it. I'm actually looking at the monitor over here. So right about here, you'll see that's a counter which will count how many people that are viewing. That's going to make it easier for me so I can end up watching. Right below me is going to be a listing of new subs, people that end up subbing, so that I can give you a shout out. And then, which it actually looks like someone named Chuck Lee ended up subscribing to me here recently. This actually, even though I am offline, not live streaming, this actually will constantly update. Even if I'm like doing a recorded video, it'll still update and list the new subscribers that I have right there. So thanks for subbing, Chuck. And then I think down a little bit further below that, I may put a box that'll have the chat on there. Some people find that easier if they're just wanting to watch what's going on. And then of course you have my desk over here. Ooh, look how nice. Now, right now, the program that I'm using, and yes, I know my color balance is way off right now. I have the lights up a little bit further. I need to play around with my colors. I ended up tweaking everything. I don't think it actually looks too bad, but yeah, it's a little bit off. The contrast is a little sharp. I think this will be good because looking at the monitor, I'll have plenty of space to work. You'll have the chat, which will be transparent right here. And then you have, of course, the subscription, new subscribers. It'll only list 4 at a time, so they'll be right here. And then right up here will be how many people are viewing. I'm really trying to get into this, guys. Oh yeah, we've got my review screen. Let's kick over to that right now. So this is going to be pretty much just like my streaming one. I may shrink down my head a little bit. I don't know. It depends on, and I may just turn that off. It all depends on what I'm reviewing. Because a lot of times you guys aren't going to be wanting to watch me, while I'm fidgeting with something, looking down and then doing this. I don't know. Give me your guys' thoughts on what you think about that. But so far, I think the video on the Brio looks pretty good in the monitor. It looks even better once it's shrunken down. Seems I have a shrunken head. I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with me. I will see you guys all in the next video. Let me know down below what you think of this and how it ends up looking, and what you think of the different formats that I'm going to end up using. So far, looking at the preview, it looks pretty crispy. And there will be a link down below, as usual, because I'm a whore like that, if you want to check this out on Amazon. I will see you guys all in the next video. Sorry for this being so long. Definitely stay tuned. I will have an update video of showing you how I ended up setting this up so I didn't look washed out, I didn't look like a smurf or anything else. Everyone have a great day, and as usual, YouTube, peace out.